Hey everyone, John here. I was actually just getting the tractor ready for winter and was putting the chains on the tires, and I thought I'd do just a quick video to give you a little tip. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, but when I put these chains on, it's a lot easier if you take the tire and let all the air out of the tire that you can. You get the chain as tight as you can. And you don't have to crank it down that way, just get it as snug as you possibly can. And then when you reinflate the tire, it really cinches that chain up. The one thing you do want to remember, if you have filled tires, you want to get your valve stem all the way up to the top center, like 12 o'clock position. So you're just going to drain the air out of here. We'll go over it. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, because these subcompact tractors, a lot of people have been buying them. And if you've never put chains on your tractor, if you're pushing snow with it, I would highly recommend chains on the tractor. I guess if you have a blacktop or a concrete driveway where you have really good traction, you're not going up any hills, probably won't be that big of a deal. Although even on level ground, I had some problems the first year pushing the snow. If you hit the bank a little bit crooked, the back end of the tractor would want to slide over just a hair. And I tell you, with the chains on the back of here, it is like a different machine. I have a decent incline to go from the barn up to the house. And the first year I had the tractor, I put the snowblower on, had the heavy hitch here on the back, 350 pounds on the back there, and had the snowblower up in the air, four-wheel drive, differential locked. I could not drive up the hill. I just kept spinning, and then I would start sliding sideways and come back down. Contrast that with, I got the chains last year, put them on. We had snow. I was coming up, I don't even know, the first time I took it up there, we had maybe 6-8 inches of snow. I had the snowblower down, so I didn't have all that weight on the front tires. Was blowing snow and still drove up the hill and didn't hardly spin a tire. So it's amazing the difference that you can have with these chains. So most of the chains, when you put them together, the other thing you're going to want to watch for is you see these hooks. See how this is put together and these hooks are bent in? You want to make sure these hooks are on the outside. You don't want this hooked in, you don't want this against your tire. So you want to have that kind of on the, whoa, how you doing? You don't want to hit the camera with a chain either. So you want to have that on the bottom. It's rearranged here. These things are like a puzzle here. Doesn't help that it's hooked in the middle. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, so I want to have them on the outside, and I got to spin it around because you want your, most of the time you're going to have like an S hook that you're going to have. You want that on the inside, and then you're going to want your cam lever on the outside. So cam on the outside, S hook on the inside, and then those curved bars you want away from the tire, where the chains go and connect. If you have a different style chain, apply as you will. I'm just trying to tell you how mine works. All right. So all we're going to do is drag this underneath the tire. You're going to get it started up on the top. Get to spin the tire around. This is how I like doing it. And then I'll get it most of the way on there. And it is a little tricky. Because you're just going to want to catch on the bars on the tire. So it's a good way to get the chain draped across the tire initially. Then you can kind of work it across. All you want to do is get it across this top lip on the back of the tire. If you can see what I'm doing. And you got to watch, these cross chains are going to catch on your treads. So you just want to line them up. I like lining them up. I try to get them fairly evenly spaced over my treads. So it's pretty much centered. You don't want to get it, you don't want to get a lot of them going like this. I got that one a little too crooked there. I want to get it a little bit straighter. All right. That's not too bad right there. My handy dandy cardboard because my floor is dusty. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring this down. Now that we got it kind of centered. Again, I'm just trying to get this hooked up. I'm going to hook this S hook up on this chain. And you can see, you want to take up as much slack as you can. I know the other thing you want to watch with these tractors, I think I had it on the second hook last year. All right, and I might have to adjust that here in a second. But the other thing you want to watch is, unless you have wheel spacers, there's not a lot of clearance between the chain and the sway bar link. the holder, and you will pop that pin out. So you really want to watch that when you're hooking this up. See if this is good. And I'll show you here in a second what I did. I basically take some zip strips. They go around. So I'm taking the cam lever now. I'm just putting it through as tight as I can get it. And I'm probably going to have to undo this again here in a second. But yeah, see how I got these kind of crossed over the tread a little bit. You don't want to, you have to take this back off. And this is the art part of it. You do really want to work this chain because you don't want to have it cockeyed on the tire, because it'll pull different and it's not going to tighten up as well, and you'll get it where you think you got it tight, and then all of a sudden, there we go. You get it where you think you got it tight, and then it's loose next time you go to do something with it. I think I'm going to put this in one more link. I think that'll work. So I'm doing is backing this off. Get this up where you can see it. So I'm going to go 2 links on mine. And again, this is mine. You need to figure out how your tractor works. Your tractor, your size, your chains, it's all going to be different. Again, there we go. That's lining up a little bit better now. I like that. So I like going to the last link that I possibly can. Just put the cam lock through. So you take the link, pull this chain out of the way. That link out of the way. Pull this. Drop that in, run it around. Link the cam up, and that's already too loose. I can tell you right now just by looking at it. So I got the S hook pretty much up as tight as I can. And now the interesting thing is I have bought these set of chains together. The other chain I don't have all the way in. I only have like 2 links up. So it really depends on, like I said, the chain. They're going to stretch. They're going to do different things from season to season, but you have to go with your tractor. But you can see I got these fairly tight, or as tight as I can get them right there with the cam. I ran out of chain links. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to go and I'm going to put some air in this, and then we'll see how tight that gets. Again, because I have filled tires, and I want to make sure that valve stem is in the 12 o'clock position. We're going to get, now these tires are 20 PSI max. That's where I run them, is 20. But we should see this, when these fill up, we should see these chains tighten up a little bit. The other thing you can get, which I do have, is springs that came with the kit. Those do help as well. Let's see where we're at here. The springs just hook in here, and I'll show you in a second. Ooh. I actually took this right on the dot. But so we're still a little bit loose on this side. Now the other side, when I did this, they were as tight as I could possibly get them. And I'm out of links on this side, and I think I'm out of links on the other side, where that S hook is. Yep, I'm out of links on both sides, so I can't go any tighter. So this side is as tight as I can get it, but you'll still notice, even while this is a little bit loose, it's still tighter than it was before I put the air in it. I'll show you the other tire. I did the same procedure on the other tire. So I ran through the same thing on this tire, and you can see how tight these are? Like, they're not wanting to move at all. So, and again, that chain might have just stretched a little bit more than this one did. They were matching pair. They both fit fine last year, but putting the springs on are gonna help. So we'll get this back over here. Okay, see what's going on. And the springs are pretty simple. They came in, it's basically looks like a 5-spoke. So it's just that's really all it is right there. Whoops, I got one of these connected where it shouldn't be there. So it's just a circle with these on it, and you want to spread them out so that they kind of pull your chain. So I usually start, you kind of think of like a spoke pattern, like you would have like basically matching the lugs on the inside, somewhere in that neighborhood. Doesn't have to be exact. And I'll adjust them a lot of times when I get done, but you can see already the tension these are pulling in on it. There we go. So see this one, I gotta move a little bit. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Maybe. So this is one of those things where it's funny. I was putting the other side on, and I'm like, I got it on. I'm like, oh, I should really do a video of this. Maybe somebody doesn't know about, you know, letting the air out of the tires. That might help them a little bit. So of course I show you on this side, and this side it didn't make a difference. I could have left all the air in the tire because I could have gotten it as tight as it was at the end of those chains. So there you go. So that's a lot of tension right there, and then you can see that really snugged these up quite a bit. So I'll take this a lot of times and just throw it in there. What I do on the inside is I'll take a zip strip and I will go through and I'll zip strip the extra chain to it, so that you don't want this. I'll show you over here. There, hopefully you can see in here now. You can see how there's hardly any clearance right there, and this thing can flop and catch. So what I do is now I'll go and I'll take this and I'll get a zip strip, and I'll like zip strip it here and down on the bottom, just so it stays in on this ring. So the other thing I'm looking at really doing is I've seen these Bora wheel spacers. Wow, that light's really bright. So I've seen these Bora wheel spacers, and I'm contemplating getting them. I don't think I want to go too crazy. I know they have up to, I want to say 6 inch or something, but that's kind of crazy to me. I think I'm going to go with somewhere between a 1 and a 3 inch spacer. The one thing I want to be careful on is right now I have a 4-foot tiller for my garden, and the tiller covers the tracks of the tractor. So if I add if I put 2 inch spacers, for example, that's going to make my, instead of 48, I'm going to be 52 inches wide, or 47 and a half, whatever it is, 47 inches, it'll be 51 inches. It's still going to be wider than my 48 inch tiller. Not a lot. I'm only going to have a touch on either side, so I think it'll probably be okay. But I'll try to do a video of that if I order the spacers. I'm still looking at them, but it'll give me a little more stability. It'll make that clearance on the inside easier for the chains. It'll make taking that 3-point hitch on and off a lot easier, because when I have to take the 3-point hitch off and I put the backhoe on. So I think that's another advantage a lot of people don't think about, is it's pretty tight getting that pin out of there. And if you do that a lot, it's not hard, it's annoying, I would say. So, but anyways, that's how you get your chains on. Again, remember to let the air out of the tires all the way. Get the chain as tight as you can with your hand. You're not having to use any kind of pry bar that way. And then when you re-inflate it, it's going to snug those chains up a little bit. Make sure you get the springs too. A little jumpy there. Compressor kicked on. Let's shut that off. So anyways, when you go to put the chains on your tire, just remember to let the air out, get the chain as tight as you can by hand, re-inflate it. It'll snug it up nice and tight, and then put those springs on the outside. I'll let you know how the wheel spacers work out, but until then, hope everyone has a great day. Have a Merry Christmas. God bless.